of Lesvos to help in the refugee crisis. Amy Luddington will be taking supplies out to families who travelled to the island from Syria, and she's leaving behind her young son to help other mums and joins me now. So why have you been inspired to do this, Amy? Because many of us have seen some of these harrowing images over the last few months, but none of us necessarily inspired to go out there and do something about it.
I mean, I don't necessarily know why I'm different, but I mean, ever since we've seen the images of Alan Kurdi, washed up on that shore, my son's a very similar age, looks similar, and to me it really hit something within me. And the media coverage, kind of went away after that tragedy, but actually, I couldn't disconnect. And once I started getting more into the research and what's going on up there, I realised that these types of things are actually happening every night. Children are dying in the Aegean Sea every single night. I mean, last week there was a huge tragedy where a boat of 300 capsized. That did capture the media, but it is happening every day. And now I'm in contact with volunteers. I'm seeing what kind of situation is also on the island once people reach the shores.
It's almost terrifying, isn't it, that this kind of thing can be so commonplace that it no longer always makes the headlines. That's the thing. That's the frightening part of it, if you like, isn't it? What do you know about the situation on Lesbos, then? What is happening there at the moment?
So, I mean, I really feel for refugees there because they obviously, if they reach the shores, they're obviously relieved and, holding on to hope. But actually, on the island Lesbos, there's not much hope. The accounts and volunteers on the ground that I'm in touch with, they're saying the situation is absolutely dire, especially as winter is settling in. There's a few big charities out there, but to be honest, their presence is a little questionable in terms of quantity of volunteers out there. But they're all working together. There's a lot of average Joe volunteers like me out there helping because the camps are just, it's just crazy.
What are the conditions like? What have you been told about the conditions?
Obviously the weather plays a big role. So, I mean, when you arrive in the island, you have to register. And the registration office is basically in the camp. And to register, you are queuing sometimes up to 5 days in the rain, and you are sleeping in that queue. You are going to the toilet in that queue. You are doing everything in that queue, and people are not having shoes. And you can see there's pictures of their feet from volunteers, and they're completely rotted. And these are children, and people are just sleeping out in the open. Families with young kids with, no blankets. And it's just absolutely heartbreaking, to be honest. There's not enough volunteers. There's not enough aid and food and shelter.
And what can you do to help in this? Because with situations like this that are just so huge, it's difficult to know what difference you can make, isn't it?
I know. I mean, my difference will probably be a drop in the ocean, to be honest, but I can't sleep without trying to do something. So myself and a family member, we're going out there, and I think there's a bunch of ways that we can help. We can be hands-on, in the camps. When people are coming off the shores, you can obviously help with making sure they have survival blankets and direct them where they need to go. But basically helping people in the queues who are queuing for days, helping people in the camps. What we're going to do is to actually hire a big car out there and do supply runs for people because there is hardly any food and water out there. So that's why we're fundraising, so that we can buy things out there and literally do supply runs every day. That's the aim. But also the third thing we're trying to do is actually to create awareness of the situation once we're out there. I do plan to set up a YouTube vlog so I can actually show people, video it, and just get an awareness and try and get some, people talking and seeing what's going on, and maybe a better reaction from the charities.
And how long are you actually going to be out there for?
Because of the situation with my son, only fortunately for about a week. But I'm hoping, the volunteers are great out there. They're doing shifts all around the clock, day shifts, night shifts. I really hope I can do as much as possible in a week. And I already have lots of friends who, mothers just like me actually, they're all mothers who want to help and do the same. And I think we'll plan another trip maybe in the new year, and more of us come out there.
What have you told your little boy about where you're going?
To be honest, it's such a heartbreaking thing that I'm not really sure what to tell him. I have told him at night time we actually say a prayer, and at night time I'm so grateful to put my son home in a bed that is warm and he is safe and he has food in his belly. And so every night, we say a prayer, and I say, let's pray for the kids out there, because I do really want him to understand that he is lucky. So I have explained that there are kids out there who don't have food and a shelter over their head, and that Mummy's going to go try and help them. And he thinks he's coming out there with me, but I'm going to have to break it to him. I don't think it's quite that safe to do so.
It's very difficult to know what to tell them, isn't it? Well, look, Amy, best of luck with it all, and we'd love to catch up with you while you're out there, maybe when you get back as well, to find out how you've got on. That's Amy Luddington from Wokingham. It's coming up to 5 minutes.